Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. Hi, Kirsten.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, I'm excited about our conversation today.
I am too. Welcome to Penny for Your Shots. I'm so grateful you're here.
Excited to be here.
Wonderful. Well, Kirsten, we met through Sassy Sisters, and I actually had encountered some of your ideas, your training online somewhere before even. I'm not sure where, but yeah, I'm grateful to meet you in person and learn from you. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you and what you do?
Sure. So I actually spent a very long time in real estate. So that was my first career. And that actually ended up leading me to business coaching. And then I ended up realizing that most business owners, the biggest struggle they have is lead generation and also showing up as the authority or the expert in their space. So I partnered with Jeannie Wilson, and that's what we really focus on. We focus on helping our clients either create a YouTube channel or a podcast. And having a virtual assistant who takes care of everything for them, including their social media marketing. And we do that a little differently. We don't act as an agency. So the virtual assistants actually go to work directly for our clients. And we feel like that's really important because, well, you know, Penny, as a solopreneur, you're wearing a lot of hats, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And so having people get the support they need in their business and realize that they deserve to have the support in their business, I think that's been really powerful. I didn't expect to hear clients say things like, you know, I feel like a real business owner now, or I had no idea how much I was beating myself up because I couldn't get everything done. Or now that I have the support person, my vision for my business has tripled. Like those are things I just didn't expect to hear because you kind of think about, you know, you think about a virtual assistant. It's somebody who's getting tasks done for you consistently. But the impact on your business and on your confidence is huge.
Wow. How did it kind of morph into that, or how did you find that path?
Sure. So Jeannie actually was one of my clients when I owned a mortgage company. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how I went into mentoring. A lot of my clients were business owners. So it's either personal taxes and their business tax returns. And then they'd ask if they could take me to lunch to pick my brain. And that kind of led me into, pick my brain. I don't know how you're going to get out of there, but we could try. But yeah, so that kind of led into the coaching side of the business. And Jeannie had been a client and she called one day just to check on interest rates. And I knew she'd started a business. So I just said, how's it going? And she said, well, it's good, but I don't really know any other business owners. And I feel like I just need a coach or a mentor. And I said, I'm happy to help you do that. And so I started meeting with her and helping her with her business. And we put together a focus group. And this is back when Facebook first came out with fan pages.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think how much time has passed. Yeah, but so I think LinkedIn was coming on the scenes and blogging and email marketing. And so we put together a focus group and then she taught classes on those things. But then her marketing agency blew up because all of the people that took the classes didn't want to do all of these things themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I said to her as her kind of mentor coach, I said, I've read about outsourcing overseas. Would you want to try that? And she said, okay. And that led us down this journey of hiring. And I think we've hired in 6 different countries. We've hired hundreds of people over the past 16 years. And this is before Zoom and before all of those things. It was a lot harder back then. But, you know, we like to say if it could be done wrong, we did it wrong. And
it's a learning experience.
Crappy. It is. And I think we were probably super crappy bosses in some regards. And we definitely got taken advantage of in other cases. So yeah, but it was a learning curve. And we just ended up falling in love with outsourcing and the power that it can bring to your business.
Wow. So how did you, I guess, what was it, just kind of a out of necessity you learned how to do all these things? Or, I mean, how did you measure what you were doing and the successes that you were seeing? What led you to that?
Sure. With Jeannie's agency, again, this was back when fan pages first came out. This is kind of back when a lot of business owners were still saying, oh, I don't need a website because the yellow pages work. Right.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So I know, right? So getting people to understand the importance of having a Facebook page for their business, or having the LinkedIn profile, or email marketing or blogging, those were things that she was really educating about. And then what happened was she got busy. But at that time, you didn't really know what to charge for those things.
Right.
Because people didn't see the value in it yet because they hadn't seen results from it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of out of necessity, being able to outsource overseas was very cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of business owners, it just allows you to get support long before you could otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the main reason, was cost effective. And so with her success rate, it was really, she had virtual assistants, building websites for her clients, creating layout and designs for social media posts, setting up their LinkedIn profiles, setting up their Facebook fan pages back in the day. So she was really able to build a team that supported her in growing her business. And so I think it could be a huge asset for someone who's in a marketing business. But I think marketing's changed a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
And even more so with AI coming on the scene.
Oh, gosh.
I think video marketing is so important. So people see you. I think it's really, really important now. Plus, I think it's harder for an agency to try to get your message out. I think an agency can do a great job of running ads for you. But I think when you're talking about your content marketing, it's easier if you show up as yourself and build that know, like, and trust.
Right. Well, it's your business. Like as a solopreneur, it's all about you, what you're presenting and building relationships with people. It's not, product necessarily. Wow. So the people that you work with overseas, how do you find them?
Yeah, like I said, we did a lot of things wrong. And so eventually we created a really streamlined process. Jeannie's great with documenting how things are done. So we actually have a team now. So we have a process of finding, we get a lot of referrals. First of all, a lot of the virtual assistants that work for us or for our clients, they refer people to us because they love the structure. They love the fact that, our clients are great people and pay them on time and give them bonuses and treat them well. So we do get a lot of virtual assistants that come to us as referrals. And then we also place ads, and we have a really strict process for how we hire. And then the virtual assistant goes through a training portal, and then they go through a paid internship. So it's a long process. It takes a few months for us to get a virtual assistant graduated, as we call it, so that they can go to work for a client.
Wow. And well, it sounds like that would be a good way to ensure that they have the skills that they need, that they can build a relationship with their client or with their, would they be then reporting directly to the entrepreneur that is hiring them? Is that
Absolutely.
how that works?
And it's really funny because in our program, it's not, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. So we talk a lot about cultural differences. So Americans, we communicate very aggressively, and Filipino people tend to be very kind and sweet. So we talk about the cultural differences on both sides, and we coach both sides of that because we want to give our entrepreneurs the opportunity to feel confident in giving feedback on their content. We want them to feel comfortable talking about the things that they want to see in their content, whether it's, different B-roll or different images or changing the fonts, whatever that is. And a lot of times, especially with our female entrepreneurs, they don't always feel comfortable or confident enough. So we coach on that. But the virtual assistants are really trained for the graphic design, social media, marketing. They're great with graphic design, audio editing, video editing. So they have the skills, but the biggest thing that most business owners lack, and which we lacked, was SOPs, standard operating procedures. So everything that a virtual assistant does for us is documented. And then we teach our entrepreneurs how to manage the virtual assistant through those SOPs. So it's very time efficient. If you think about it, it doesn't make sense to outsource if you end up spending so much time following up or having meetings or checking on things. Yeah. So we really have created a structure that makes it easy for the virtual assistant to know what to do and when to do it, how to do it. And for the business owner to know how to manage them through that and know where everything is at every moment.
Brilliant. Yeah, because otherwise it'd be more efficient for you just to do it yourself instead of having to go through that every time. Well, of course,
It's so, I think most of us, most business owners are probably more like me. They're not great at creating SOPs. And that's where Judy and I make great partners because she's fantastic. And it's just really funny because so many of our clients take our standard operating procedure for their YouTube production or podcast production and social media production, and then they're able to apply that to other areas of their business. So then they are able to go on and create structure because I don't know about you, but I never took a class on how to document procedures, or how to use a project management software. I must have missed that class.
Yeah, I don't recall that one either. But yeah, I know back in my career, corporate days, that was part of what I did too, is document what I did because it was going to go to someone else at some point. So you had to have written procedures for everything. But yeah, when you work for yourself, you know what you do. So, but it takes a long time. Yeah, if you had that written down, everybody needs a system, I think, to be more efficient, to be effective and not think about those daily tasks that you have to do in your business and just in your life.
Yes. Yeah, I pretty much document every part of my life now.
It's good to have a system.
Get it out of your head, right? It's out of your head. Then as the visionary, you have time to focus on the vision. You have time to strategically plan your business because all those little tasks aren't running around nagging at you.
Yes. There's room for more things.
Important things, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So you brought something up that made me think of another question. So you outsource and you go to the Philippines, right? Is that exclusively where you are for your virtual assistants?
At this point, primarily, yes.
Yeah.
We have outsourced to several different countries. I just find that the Filipino culture, and once the cultural differences are understood by both parties, it's just a great relationship. And we're looking to employ people for long term. So it's not a freelance job. They understand that our clients want them to work with them, for a long time, have a set salary, have paid vacation, all the things that you often don't get in a freelance job. So we love it.
That's very cool. Okay. So have you traveled there? Have you been there personally?
I have not. It is on the list at some point to get there, but I think it will be amazing because we have a fairly large team. So just seeing our own team members, but then also getting to see, some of our clients' virtual assistants would be really fun too.
Do you do some things via Zoom or how do you work with your team over there?
Yeah. So all of our interviewing processes via Zoom. We have a training portal for them. We also have Zoom calls for coaching. And again, we put them through a paid internship. So we're looking to make sure that they meet deadlines. They communicate clearly. They're asking good questions. They're really learning the SOPs and that they embrace them. Because like you said, in your corporate career, you documented everything. And I think when you're in corporate, procedures and processes are the norm. It's not the norm, for entrepreneurs. And so if the virtual assistants have been acting as freelancers or they've been working for a lot of entrepreneurs that do not have structure, we need to make sure that they're going to embrace the structure that we provide for our clients and really want to use it. And we've been really lucky that's been happening consistently.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I imagine too that with the time difference, it would be difficult to Zoom. I mean, because isn't it halfway around the world, basically?
Yeah, they're 12 hours ahead of us. So right now it's 11 or 1:14 in the morning. Their time. But most of our clients, because their virtual assistants are doing things like video editing and audio editing and creating social media posts, that virtual assistant can really work on their time schedule to do their work. But then they can meet with their boss either in the morning. So 8 a.m. is 8 p.m. their time. We also have to remember that it's hot there.
Oh, right.
So a lot of times they do work later into the evenings because it's cooler.
Okay.
And about 50% of the country works overnight. So
really,
again, it's a very, No, but for the marketing virtual assistants, we don't really care when they do their work as long as they're able to meet with us or they meet with their client, our client when they want that to happen. And again, they're 12 hours ahead of us on the East Coast. Obviously that's different, in different time zones, but we work with the clients to figure out the best time for them to meet with a virtual assistant. So it's good for both parties. And then once they have that consistent meeting on the schedule, then it's just, it's just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Because after they're up and running, they really just need to meet with them once a week. So,
well, I imagine as an entrepreneur using those services that would be advantageous too, because you would be then, working off opposite of each other almost. And then you can hit the ground running when you have all your things done by your assistant. That would be very helpful, I would think.
Yeah, when Jeannie owned her agency, she used to say it was like waking up on Christmas morning every day. You'd wake up as if work had been done. You just had to sign off on it or give feedback on it. And so, because again, her team was doing her client work for her. So it is. So sometimes time zones can be a real advantage.
Right.
Because then that gave her the whole day to approve it or give feedback and move forward with it. So it really does work well.
Yeah.
And we are actually, Penny, we're actually rolling out another program, and that is to help our clients get booked on podcasts.
Oh, how fun.
Really feel like, you love podcasting.
I
do.
do.
So do I.
Yeah. Well, that brings up another question. Tell us about your podcast. Let's hear what, I've been listening to it, so I know a little bit about it, but tell my listeners what you do.
Sure. So we have Six Figure Business Mastery, and that's a podcast where we bring on experts that can help business owners. And we try to make it a very tight podcast. It runs about 20 to 22 minutes because we're really asking our guests to bring on actionable content, like things that people can listen to and then take action on. So we don't want to overwhelm them. And that podcast, it may focus on, the 3 best ways to use Pinterest, or, things you should know about contracts in your business. So we really cover a lot of different topics, but it's all geared towards supporting entrepreneurs and things that they need to know for their business. And so it's been really fun, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I've enjoyed listening to your experts. They come on, and everybody has their own set of, what they do best. And when they're sharing their top 3 tips, you can glean a lot of information from those. It's great. Hello, friend. Let's be real. When's the last time you did something just for you? Enter Wine Camp 2026. We're talking wine tastings, fire pit chats, sunset dinner cruises, and 0 cooking required. Just show up, sip something fabulous, and reconnect with the version of you who loves adventure, sisterhood, and a glass of local Riesling in hand. Sweet, dry, or both. No judgment here. We're heading to New York's gorgeous Finger Lakes, July 31st through August 2nd. And yes, it's as dreamy as it sounds. Secure your spot at pennyforyourshots.com/winecamp. Don't wait. Room options are limited. And my crystal ball says we're going to sell out. Bring your besties or fly solo like the fabulous free spirit you are. You'll leave with new favorites either way. Wine Camp 2026 is calling. The only question is, are you in? Find out more at pennyforyourshots.com/winecamp.
Absolutely. And Penny, we actually have another podcast coming out. It'll come out in May. Yeah. And it's called Blueprints for Brilliance Coaching Insights. And it's a podcast by coaches for coaches.
Oh, nice.
And we're just exploring with people, what was their journey to becoming a coach? What have they learned along the way? Sometimes they'll share transformational stories that they've had with their clients. And then we always ask them to end with, one piece of advice to make the world a better place.
Oh, I love that. That's great. You're launching that in May, you said?
Yes. I think we have 15 or 16 episodes recorded.
Nice.
That are in production right now. And so that's the other thing. When you're training virtual assistants in a paid internship, we have to have content for them. So we're really lucky that we can, do several podcast interviews a week and put those into production. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. How long have you been podcasting?
It's really funny because we started off, I guess I kind of resisted podcasting for a while because it's not really searchable. For a business owner, you're creating content that may or may not get found. And that's changing quickly. So when YouTube decided to really dive all in on podcasts, I thought it made sense because, YouTube's the second largest search engine. It's owned by Google. And we already had a YouTube channel. We were already doing a lot of talking head videos and tutorial videos. So it really made sense for us to add on podcasting. And we had already been interviewing people in our Facebook group. So we already had experts coming on and we were interviewing them in there. And so we just kind of moved that over.
Okay. Yeah. So it was a natural transition.
Yeah. How long have you had your podcast now?
Oh, gosh. I launched November 2nd of 23. So just, 4 or 5 months.
So exciting, though.
It's been very fun. I've learned so much. And, I've really enjoyed telling women's stories. And, when we come together, we are just unstoppable. And if we can share our ideas and lift each other up, it's just amazing. I love it. It's been a great journey.
And I think that a friend of ours, Ben, he said, I feel so lucky because I just get to pick people I want to talk to because I'm so excited to learn about them and what they do. Yeah. So it really is amazing to think that you just get to reach out to these people and say, hey, I'd love to interview you. And most people say yes. And then you get these great connections and you make these great new friends. And it sometimes leads to collaborations or affiliates.
Exactly.
Just so many wonderful things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just about being curious and, really listening to others and hear what they do. And just hear the stories and share them. When we share stories too, I think that really helps, bring the points across. Like if you can share what this is what that's great. And I'm learning it. But if you can tell me a story about how that impacted you or impacted someone else, then that's when you really, you understand the concept and you can learn it, internalize it, and really maybe put it into practice in your way, put your own spin on it. Yeah, that's been kind of fun to hear everyone's stories. So, who are your ideal clients? Like who do you work with mainly? What entrepreneurs or what kind of business do they have, or what would work best for you?
Sure. So for the program where we help our clients start a podcast or start a YouTube channel, their social media marketing, email marketing, that can really be ideal for real estate agents because realtors get, fantastic results. In fact, we had a client on our coaching call 2 weeks ago, and she had been with us at that point 9 weeks. She'd had a YouTube channel for almost 2 years and had never received a call off of that channel. Her virtual assistant was up and running for 6 weeks. And in that 6 weeks, she had 3 people book calls with her from her YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh.
And one of them was under contract. So I feel like, especially the way people are moving around now for real estate agents, I think it's so important for them to really lean into YouTube. And also now with this new law for them, with the commission and everything, I think by showcasing their knowledge and their expertise, it shows that they're bringing value to the transaction. And hopefully that will help them, with the commission and not have any issues with that. So we work with a lot of real estate agents, law firms. Law firms are great because they're educating the consumers on the type of law that they practice and they're answering questions. And, if you think about it, I have a friend that owns a law firm in Virginia. It's a workers' comp law firm. And she used to run really inexpensive ads because they would run in the middle of the night. Well, if you have clients that have been injured at work, a lot of times they're up at night because they're in pain or they're restless or they slept a lot during the day. So it makes sense. And it's the same with YouTube. If people are, out of work, and they're in pain, they're searching for results. They're searching for things that can help them. And that's where having a YouTube channel that can educate them can be so powerful.
Wow.
But we've been really lucky. We've got to work with a lot of people in a lot of different industries, moving companies, interior designers. We work with coaches and consultants. So a lot of different people see the value in creating educational-based content. And I think that's really the key. We don't focus on, having your virtual assistant create a commercial for you.
Right.
About, you showing up week after week with valuable information and content that lets people really get to know you and they like you and they trust you. And if you give them information that they're looking for, they're going to raise their hands. They're going to reach out. They're going to talk to you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I feel like the more you give people, the more people you lift up, the more it raises your business as well. Not just your business, but your whole, I don't know. I just feel better when I Don't we all? I think most of us.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be sold to, right?
Right.
We all want to buy. If something will solve our problem, we want to buy it.
Yeah.
But we don't want to feel like we're being sold to. And that's where I think, just creating real authentic content that, shows people that what's going on in your industry and you have solutions to problems. And, people will often say, well, how much do I give away for free? Well, let's face it, it's the internet. There probably isn't anything someone can't figure out how to do on the internet.
Right.
So even if you're not delivering it, someone else is.
Yeah.
And generally what happens is if you educate people enough, they'll usually want to work with you because they want everything together. They want to work with someone who, really can solve their problem and guide them through it, without, kind of the minefield of just patching things together that they find online.
Right. And it's you that they're not necessarily buying, but it's you that has delivered it in a way that they can relate to, that they are interacting with and feels good, that you're their vibe. You're their people. Yeah. You got to find your people.
Yeah. And then for our other program where we help our clients get booked on podcasts, that is really ideal for coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors. It's people who, maybe they've got a new book out and they want to get booked on a ton of podcasts so they can, spread the word about their book. Or if they're a coach or consultant and they can work with anyone anywhere in the world. Getting booked on podcasts can make sense for them. And for a lot of people, it's less stressful than creating their own content. So, yeah.
Yeah. I find it's easier to conduct a podcast. It's easier to interview someone than to be interviewed. I like being curious about other people's stories and listening to them and asking questions.
It is different. I think as a host of a podcast, you really learn what to do and what not to do from the guests that you have on, right? And sometimes we have guests on and they're just so fabulous. And I'm thinking, wow, the next time I get interviewed, I want to emulate that, So it really is interesting when you are on both sides. You're the host and then you're the guest.
Yeah.
I do feel like you're always evolving. So then when I'm a guest, I'm always learning things from the host that they did.
Yeah.
Then I want to take back to our podcast and do differently or do better.
Yeah, exactly. And some other people will ask you the questions that help draw out your stories too. And that's always very fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very good.
So I would let's circle to you just for a second. I love the name of your podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. Yeah, Penny for Your Shot. So yeah, how did you come up with that name?
Okay, well, I didn't. That's the fun part. One of my girlfriends, she knew I was going to do a podcast and I hadn't honed in on the name yet. And there were like four of us that we get together all the time, Jill, Janet, and Jennifer. So shout out to my girls. We had lunch together and we're talking about it. And I had a farther drive. So by the time I got home, Jill had shot me like 4 different ideas. And this was the first one. She goes, hey, I got a name for you. And this was it. So it stuck. It was just perfect. I thought, yeah, it fits. It encompasses all the things that I want to talk about and the ideas to come up with. So yeah, it was Jill.
And it's such a fun name. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Hopefully it's memorable and it kind of encompasses the fun part of it too, because I like to have fun with wine and cocktails.
Yeah.
Which brings me...
I've been out for drinks.
Yeah. We don't get together nearly enough and we live kind of far apart from each other. So we travel to each other and hang out and spend a weekend usually when we do it.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah. So that brings me to a new question for you. What is your favorite cocktail or glass of wine? What would you enjoy if you had your choice?
I love a nice rich Malbec, full body, but I also love Prosecco.
Yes,
it's hot out. We were at an outside concert, this past weekend, and they had Prosecco on tap, which I've never seen that before.
Oh, wow.
I was
how
like,
fun.
It was like winning the lottery. So that was really fun. And then I definitely am a margarita kind of girl. I love Mexican food and having a good margarita.
Absolutely. Yeah, it just brings a party.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So
party in a glass.
A party in a glass. Yeah, for sure. So what's a favorite memory with girlfriends sharing a cocktail or sharing a margarita or glass of Prosecco?
Oh my gosh, so many. Like I said, this past weekend, we were out at a live music concert. It was just great. I think I was with Susan Bateri. I think it was Susan.
Yeah.
And so we were having Prosecco together. So that was really nice.
Lovely.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of girlfriends. We actually do a Zoom call. One's in France and one's up in Rhode Island.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll all bring our beverage and just have, a glass of wine together.
Hour.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a cup of tea, depending on what time zone we're in. The time. Yeah. And then Jeannie, my business partner, comes here to Florida. She'll be here in a couple of weeks. And we usually go out for a nice dinner somewhere and enjoy a nice bottle of wine. And yeah, we were in Vegas back in January, and we got to meet one of our clients for the first time in person.
Nice.
He lives in San Fran. And so we went out to this really nice steakhouse and had a couple of fabulous bottles of wine.
Nice.
So yeah, I definitely enjoy, sharing a cocktail with friends.
Yes, it brings out more stories.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Vegas has so many nice places to eat too. So many great restaurants and Michelin-starred restaurants. Don't they? I think they have the largest number of Michelin-starred restaurants in the world, I believe.
Could be. The food was amazing.
Yeah, so good. It's amazing. Okay. What have I not asked you that you would love to share with my people?
It's really interesting because since I have started doing more podcast interviews, one of the things that really keeps coming up is that outsourcing is a form of self-care for women.
Oh, wow. I love that.
I feel like men will delegate everything. Like if they have a secretary or an assistant, they would say like, hey, here's a Post-it note. Don't forget to go to the bathroom for me at 2:00. They will delegate everything. And women, I don't know if it's our perfectionism or, our fear of judgment because we're not doing everything. But I do feel like getting support in your business is so important. It is a great way to take care of yourself because we can make more money, but we can't make more time. So if you're missing out on spending time with your family or you're missing out on doing the things that you love because you're just grinding in your business, eventually you're going to burn out and it's not the life that you want to live. And I look at it in a way that for us, outsourcing is not only a way to take care of ourselves, but it's also a way to provide jobs for women halfway around the world and to truly help them. They get to work from home, so they get to be with their families. So I just feel like it's so important to realize that you deserve to have support in your business.
Wow, that's great. And not only creating jobs across the world, but, the more your business grows, the more concepts you can come up with, the more things that you share with the world. That's going to lift others up too and help them everywhere.
Right. And I think that's a great point, Penny, because a lot of people think, well, you're taking jobs out of the country. Well, for a lot of our clients, to spend $250 to $500 a month, they can afford that, where they couldn't necessarily afford to hire an agency for $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Right. So by taking that, out of the country, getting the support that they need, consistently marketing their business, then they are growing their business. And now maybe they're hiring a local bookkeeper to take care of their books, or maybe they're hiring.
Exactly.
We did have a story where someone else hired additional organizers. She owned an organizing business. And once she really started marketing her business and getting clients in consistently, then she had too much business. So then she was able to hire other local professional organizers. So it is so true that by outsourcing overseas, it could actually really help you grow your business here, but also then allow you to provide jobs for other people here in the U.S.
Exactly. And it's not a zero-sum game, right? Because that job is in the Philippines does not mean that there aren't it doesn't mean that there's a limited amount of jobs available or a limited amount of tasks to be done. The more you create, the more you create.
Yeah. And for us, we also see a lot of our clients, once they understand the value of having support, in our case with their marketing, then they are more likely to outsource other things like, again, hiring a local bookkeeper or, they're ready to bring on someone maybe to help with sales in their business and they'll bring someone on here in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it does empower people to realize that, I do deserve the help and I can be a good boss. I think that's another fear for a lot of women. I've never managed or led, or I don't know how to be a good employer or boss. And once they get that experience under their belt, then they are more likely to hire, other people as well.
Right. I think we limit ourselves in what we choose to do and what we are I don't know, I look at my own business and I'm like, I have to do it all. I feel like I have to, but yeah, that is changing.
Yeah, we can go have a bottle of wine and I'll change your mind.
Yes, there we go. Let's do that.
And it's so empowering. I think, women start more businesses than men, but men tend to build bigger businesses. And I really do think it is the component of outsourcing, of realizing you do not have to do everything yourself. And it's so funny because let's use video editing or audio editing as an example. I couldn't edit a video or audio if my life literally depended on it. Just not happening, right? But the reality is I don't need to know how to do something to give constructive feedback. Slow that down, speed that up. There's a little bit too much background sound there. I don't like the B-roll that you chose for that because, it has a lot of men in it and a lot of our clients are women. I do not need to know how to do something to delegate it or to give feedback on it. And I think that's a very powerful place to come from. And, I do feel like that need to know how to do everything in your business does slow a lot of women down from building, a larger business or to have more time and space in their lives while having a successful business.
Yeah. And I feel it's a scalability thing. So, when you get started, you have to do a certain amount of things to understand. I feel like I have to do a certain amount of things to be able to understand them so that eventually I can outsource when, understanding what direction I want to take my business or learning all the things that I want to do. Then what are the things that I can get rid of? What are the systems that I can work with and, make it, scale it so I can get bigger, so I can do more things and help more people. All of that.
And you're very lucky, Penny, because in your corporate life, that's what you did.
Yeah.
So you have a skill that a lot of us don't have. And so that it totally makes sense that not only do you feel like you have to, but I'm sure there's a little part of you that's excited to create the structure because it's what you've done and it's a skill you're really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And taking all of the experiences. So all, from the wine part of it to, and then going way back to corporate days and all the things that all the things I did for that career, and just melding them all together. So I'm above all, I think, very grateful for all of the experiences, even though they've run their course. Now I can take all of those things and put them together and, I can cherry pick too, what pieces of each are fun and what I want to keep doing and, then outsource the rest.
Yes. Yeah. If you can. Yeah. We always say, don't outsource the things that you love to do.
Right.
Outsource the things that you don't really enjoy doing.
Yes.
And there may come a time, and I think a great example of this is my business partner, Jeannie. She's a fantastic graphic designer. So if we're going to put together a new landing page or create a new logo for a program or something, I'll always ask her, is this something you want to do? Because she can get really jazzed up and excited about it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then she gets to decide, I've got time and I want to really dig into this, or I would like to, but I don't have the time for it. So I'm going to go ahead and delegate it and I'll do something creative next time.
Oh, very cool. How nice is that to have the choice to pick and choose what you want to do and what lights you up? I think we forget that, especially women. We're doing so many things. We forget what brings us joy because we just do what we have to do.
Right.
But yeah, if you could focus in your business on what brings you joy, you can keep, if you do the things that are fun for you, you get better and better at those things and can share those with the world and, really be your business.
And it's also incredibly rewarding to let other people do tasks that lights them up. The virtual assistants and the interns that we work with that are, video editors and audio editors and graphic designers, they love doing that. Like that's their thing. Wow. And so to see how excited they are when they're showing you a video that they've done or social media posts that they've done, to see them light up over their work. And so I don't always think of it as letting go of tasks, that I don't want to do, but realizing I'm handing off to tasks to people who are incredibly creative and incredibly talented and giving them work and a job doing what they love doing.
Wow. What a great way to look at it. Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah. It's funny because even with the virtual assistants that get me booked on podcasts, the virtual assistant that does that, their personality is very different. They're not necessarily a creative person. They're a person who really likes follow up and follow through and research and the things that, again, I would just not be good at all. And she loves it. When we meet with her and we go over everything that she's done, she's so excited about, again, I followed up with this person. We were able to book that. That's exciting because she is excited about it. And what's exciting for me is all I have to do is show up for that interview, right?
Yeah.
I just get to show up because she's taking care of everything else.
That's so important. You have to be present when you're having a conversation anywhere, Absolutely. Not just on a podcast, anywhere.
True. So true.
Very cool. Wow. I just want to open it up a little bit more. And, if there's anything else that you would like to share, well, for sure, let us know where can we find you and what would be the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah. Our business is Six Figure Business Coaching, and that's SIX, Figure Business Coaching. And that's also our YouTube channel. So if you want to check us out there, we have our podcast interviews there. We have, a lot of training videos there. And actually, I have a resource. If anybody would like it, it's called Double Your Income with a Marketing Virtual Assistant. And you can get that at outsourcingforbosses.com. Again, outsourcingforbosses.com. So if you've been thinking about it, it's just a guide that'll give you a little bit more information.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that and allowing everyone to hop on that. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I'm just so glad that I met you and that.
Me too.
Can you hear my dog?
I heard him a little earlier, but
she's usually napping this time.
That's okay.
I don't know what's got her. There might be someone at the door or something.
Oh, that makes that authentic, and people love puppies, so it's okay.
She's so fun. Yeah, but I'm really glad that we met, and I'm just so excited. It's so fun to talk to other podcasters, and you and I locally are interviewing a lot of the same women, which is really exciting. And so, yeah, I'm just excited to be on this journey with you, and looking forward to staying connected and doing more things together.
Me too. This has been super fun.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
What are you doing business-wise right now?
Well, I am. This is part of the thing that I'm working on is courses for systems. So I
love it.
Yeah, I use boards a lot. I use Todoist. I use, several of those organizational tools that keep me on track. And so I'm documenting, here we go. I'm documenting those things and, creating courses around those things and some, just videos on how to use them in your daily life, how to use them in your business.
Right.
And I've got some wine.
Boards is the texting tool, right?
What's that?
Is boards is the texting.
It's you, we all have things that we say continually, written things like in email or in text. And, so boards is a way to kind of capture all of those things that we continually send out, like maybe an invitation to this or, here are step-by-step things for that. So those, texts that we create or videos or, links that we share quite often or images or graphics that we share quite often. So those we can put into a board, and then your keyboard on your phone, you can just flip right over to boards and share it with one click.
Yeah, you actually had me sign up for that. I've used it a little bit, but probably not to the extent that I could. Would you want to do a podcast interview with us about that?
I would love that.
Okay.
I would love that. Yes.
Yeah, we right now we document everything in Trello because it's free and it allows us to share all of our SOPs with our clients. But I think boards is brilliant for when you're out and about.
Yes, it's very quick, very easy.
Yeah, well, I will send you a link to get you booked on that podcast. I think that'll be a fantastic conversation. And
I would love that.
Yeah. And then with your courses, are you planning to just sell them like click and buy, or do you plan on selling them with a phone call? What's your strategy around that?
Click and buy partly, and I'll do, it's so new. I'm still, in development with a lot of them. I'm creating the courses. So I'll do some just, like you were talking about giving of knowledge. So let's start with the free version of boards and let's talk about that. And I'll, show people how to use that. And then we can move into, okay, if you want to dig deeper, if you need more of this in your business or for your life, then here's the course that you can buy and I can take you a little bit deeper on it. So that kind of thing. So, and also wine classes, like, okay, here's Chardonnay, but did you know that Chardonnay tastes so different in this region versus that region? And here's why. And, those kinds of things. But yeah, a lot of different, pieces are from all the different past lives coming together.
That's
and
so awesome.
Yeah, the most recent thing I'm working on is the retreat, or the most developed, I guess, thing that is happening right now is we have I'm working with a business partner. She was a leader on my team in Traveling Vineyard, and she now has her own podcast as well. And she's a fitness instructor too. So we're getting together and doing a retreat for ladies in Texas Hill Country in September.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be super fun. So she'll lead yoga in the vines or in the hills, and that'll start our day. And then we'll go out and do some wine tasting. I'll teach a little bit about, how to taste wine, how you pair it with different things, and specifically, what's Texas Hill Country wine all about, and how do you enjoy it more, and all of that. So it's super fun. I'm going to end with a hoedown.
Oh, that's so fun.
It's going to be so fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's going to be a blast.
Wow. That sounds amazing. Yeah, you've got all kinds of good things going on.
Yeah, lots of irons in the fire. But yeah, we are, I'm moving ahead with a lot of different things. And that's my challenge is, coming together on, let's make a really good product. Let's give some really good value. And then expand. So focus.
Yes. Yeah. It's because there's so many great ideas, right?
Yeah.
And with technology, it's always evolving and always changing.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing with any of the tools that you use, they enhance them. But I think that's a very good point, because people kind of freak out with new things, or you get comfortable with what you know. And then something changes, and then you have to relearn the algorithms or relearn
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Marketing is always evolving and always changing, which is exciting, but it can be a little daunting.
Yeah.
What platforms are you going to host your courses on?
I use MailerLite.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been easy to learn. It's kind of intuitive, and it's more, I've been using it for my newsletters. So it's just, that's where my website is hosted there as well. So yeah.
Perfect.
pennyforyourshots.com.
Love it. Well, I'm glad to hear you got so many exciting things. I will definitely send you the link. I'd love to talk about you helping people create SOPs. And I love the idea of talking a little bit about boards for texting, because I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. And super easy once you get it set up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that matter of constantly updating it when you have something new that you find you're sending out consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that thing? If you do it 3 times and it has 3 steps, you should document it.
Oh, that's a very good rule.
Yes, it's the rule of 3. If something has more than 3 or more steps, and you actually do it 3 or more times,
I love it.
To document it.
Well, we forget those things, before boards, I just copied and pasted, and that's all well and good until you copy and paste the wrong thing, or only copy, a portion of what you intended to copy, or you forget to update the name on something, or
Yes, it's so true. So true.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for the interview. This was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate your time and all your tips, and your business is amazing. Love it.
Well, we have male clients and female clients, but I feel like my mission is to help women realize that they deserve support.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Penny. Well, you have a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Yes, thanks so much, Kirsten.
All right, bye-bye.
That's a wrap on another spirited episode of Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I hope you've enjoyed the intoxicating blend of wisdom, wit, and wonder that these incredible women bring to the table. Check out the show notes for links to resources referenced in today's episode. And remember to subscribe and raise a glass with me every Thirsty Thursday as we continue to serve up inspiration, celebrate resilience, and reignite the passions that set our souls on fire. If you've loved what you've heard, please share the podcast far and wide, and leave a sparkling 5-star review to let me know your thoughts. It would also help tremendously if you would visit pennyforyourshots.com and subscribe to learn when new episodes are available and pick up my free recipe. In the meantime, remember that your story deserves to be served and savored. Cheers to your brilliance and of women everywhere. Until next time, keep sipping and experiencing life's extraordinary moments. This is Penny for Your Shots, signing off with a clink and a toast to us. Cheers.